About a year earlier, we had shown a picture of her to our kids so that if she ever approached them, they knew to run. Can you imagine a bitch being that psychotic? Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. It is so greatly appreciated. It truly is. Before I start, I've been getting a lot of love from you guys in the comments, and I want you to know I really appreciate it. When I write you back and I tell you I I mean that from my heart. I truly do. You guys are so wonderful, and I thank you so much. If I don't get back to you right away, I will try my best to get back. Sometimes I don't get back to people for like 2 or 3 months. I happen to come. I really do try to get back to as many people as I can, I swear. But I really appreciate it. And just know, even if I don't get back to you, it doesn't necessarily mean I didn't see it. Okay. We are going down the Reddit rabbit hole today with another story time. I have not read this story time. I'm going to be blind reacting to it right now with you guys for the very first time. It is Crazy Beauty Queen Stalker. Okay, let's buckle up. I hope it's good. This is a long story, and it's been over 5 years in the making. I've actually posted this story before, but there are some really good internet sleuths here on Reddit, and they were able to figure out ex-beauty queen's identity and mine. That actually doesn't shock me, if I'm being honest. It really doesn't. I don't really care if I give up my identity, but didn't want it to be on my actual account, so I deleted it a while back. The catalyst for me to repost it today on a throwaway is that it's cathartic. Last week, yet another court date for ex-beauty queen Stalker came and went. We've been expecting things to proceed with her entering a plea of guilty or not guilty, but no such luck. All we got was another vague reason as to why she's not ready, and a new court date issued months from now. There have been many court dates since she's been arrested. It's been over 18 months since she's been arrested for her continued stalking and harassment. And she still wants to drag things on to seemingly try and stay relevant in our lives. The amount of court resources and taxpayers' money that was wasted is actually really astonishing. Anyway, on to the story. To recap, my husband dated a beauty queen title holder of a well-known pageant before me. They broke up long before he met. She was blonde, very tall, and knockout in her day, in my opinion. It's very mature of you. This is somewhat important to the story, I guess. But while she was a dazzling pageant winner on the outside, on the inside, oh boy. She could be charming and beautiful if she needed you, but mostly she treated people around her terribly, including my husband, and he eventually broke it off with her. But she never went away. She would continue to call and email repeatedly, even after my husband and I met. If anything, her calls increased. She would call over and over again, day and night, even after my husband, then boyfriend, blocked her number. She would ask for money and threaten to go to the police, claiming he ABUSE'd her if he didn't give it to her. I hate people like that. I have no tolerance for people that use the legal system as a means to get back at people. If it's legitimate, yes, that's what it's there for. Go for it, girl or boy. But if you're doing it just to get back at an ex or just to ruin an ex boyfriend or girlfriend's life, I have no tolerance for that. I think I think it's horrible. He obviously didn't give her money. This made her very upset. The threats increased and she became more malicious. But when that didn't work, she would switch tactics and try and sweetly ask him for help with certain projects she was trying to get off the ground. Or, more accurately, have him do the work for her and she could take the credit, with the promise that if he did just one last thing for her, she would go away. He didn't reply. So she would go back to being malicious, any tactic for attention or for what she really wanted, money. My husband was terrified because, of course, while I never did anything to her, it would be her word over his, and he was terrified of ruining his reputation and career. We unfortunately ended up at an event she also attended. She had been waiting for us to arrive and had placed herself near the entrance of the event. As we walked in, she stood across the room, looking me up and down, laughing and whispering into the ear of her date. So immature. Making a point to try and make me uncomfortable. But that was okay. She was easily ignored until she ambushed me as I came out of the bathroom. She had clearly been waiting for a moment I was alone. She towered over me. She was very tall. Well, she was a beauty queen, right? I had no intention of having it out with her, and as I walked away from her to find my husband, she kept pace beside me. "Where is your man?" she hissed in a heavy accent. Her eyes were black. She looked like something out of a Tim Burton movie, hunched over with that crazy demonic smile. "Watch your back, Pug," she added, grinning. She liked to call me names like Pug because I own pugs, and I guess she thought it was an insult. That is so stupid. That is the best that you could come up with? What I didn't know then was while I was in the bathroom, she walked over to my husband and had thrown her arm around him while he was in mid conversation with someone and introduced herself to the man he was talking to as if she and my husband were together. My husband unwrapped himself from her clutches and told her to beat it. She then beelined and waited for me to come out of the washroom. We stopped going to the parties. The last time we ran into her was at a funeral for a mutual friend. She followed me around the wake. What? As my husband, boyfriend at the time, was talking to the man's widow. I was talking to a friend and his wife. She walked right up and stood with us, joining us mid-conversation as if we were part of the group. It was unnerving, but also just bizarre. It was a funeral, and I did not want to make a scene. Exactly. I silently picked my wine glass off the bar and walked away, leaving her with the couple I'd been speaking to, and her staring at me with a smirk on her face. This must be the repits. Unless you're drinking wine in the funeral home, and I don't know that you're doing. I mean, I guess you could. I'm assuming it's the repits. All in all, annoying but manageable. However, the emails, calls never stopped. She would call my husband over and over, day and night, even though he had long blocked her number. She would drive by. I found my car keyed one night after I left it outside, but obviously I couldn't prove it was her. But enough was enough. My husband had a lawyer send a cease and desist. After the first, she called him from a private number. He answered and she said, "Hi, it's me," in a sing-song voice like they were best of friends, and he hadn't just sent her a lawyer's letter ordering her to stay away from him and his family. Oh my Lord. He said nothing and hung up. Another cease and desist was sent. Then a third. Nothing would make her go away. She did not actually think my husband was capable of not wanting to be with her because, her beauty. Eventually, though, she got pissed that he was not giving in. So she decided to take this rage to the internet. Oh. I knew that she was absolutely checking out my social media, but I don't really use it much, so I didn't care. However, she created a fake Twitter account and tweeted, "Husband's name is a fraud," and tagged his colleagues, friends, investors, family members, every single person she could think of to try to ruin his reputation and career. That's fucking evil. Evil. Meanwhile, even if you succeed at some dumb shit like this, right? You're not going to get him anyway. So you're, if anything, he's gonna hate you more. I don't understand the logic in this. I mean, I guess just revenge, but it's not worth it. Believe me when I tell you. On New Year's Eve, she posted on my Instagram account at exactly 12:01 a.m. Happy New Year's, Scrud. Social media settings were all put to private. We went to the police armed with the emails threatening to give her money or she would go to the police. She was charged with 2 counts of harassment and a restraining order was put into place. To our shock, the next day after her arrest, our phone was buzzing. The story had made front page news. Clearly a slow news day. Her day in court came right before the pandemic. We arrived to the courthouse and sat down. She walked in. We were shocked by her appearance. Actually, shocked is an understatement. She was unrecognizable from her former self. Gone was the dazzling blonde. She had apparently shaved her head and was wearing a short, ratty brown wig. She had gained about 80 pounds, give or take, and was now sort of hunched over. With her height and her new girth, she looked like a linebacker. To add to her new look, she wore a bulky brown men's overcoat and a scarf tied over her wig like a babushka. My immediate thought was, her outside now matches her inside. But it was her eyes that I noticed the most. About a year earlier, we had shown a picture of her to our kids so that if she ever approached them, they knew to run. Can you imagine a bitch being that psychotic? That's so horrible. At the time, my son, who was young, commented that she had mean eyes from the mouth of babes. Maybe it was that she changed so much physically overall, but her dark eyes had narrowed into deep black slits. As she scanned the courtroom and saw us in court, she would turn around every so often to look back at us and glare. She would then whisper in her lawyer's ear and laugh as if she were having a grand time. She had a pair of big, round, cheap sunglasses that she would put on and take off intermittently. When she addressed the judge, she put them on, and he asked her to remove them. She thought she was putting on a brave face and treating it all like a joke. But we were about to find out that getting arrested wouldn't slow her down. Oh, God. The restraining order didn't seem to faze her at all. If anything, it angered her more. I could have told you that. From then on, every day, night and day, she would pose for multiple fake social media accounts, posting photos of myself, of my husband. She would put up my husband's photo with the caption, pedo. That's fucked up. That is, oh, ooh. And other terrible names that included RICIST and transphobe. Comments and captions. To give you a slight idea, she posted altered pictures of my husband, photoshopped to look like he was wearing heavy makeup and referring to him as a pre-op trans. She posted altered and unflattering photos of myself. She called me old, ugly. Those are the G-rated ones. Listen, I am no beauty queen myself. The name calling, while obsessive and gross, wasn't what bothered me the most. Although, I'm not going to lie, seeing hundreds of photos of myself on her fake Twitter account, calling me ugly and obsessively pointing out every single perceived flaw, did succeed in getting me down at times. I mean, look, I think that we've all been angry and bothered, and you listen, I have such hooked up shit. I have. But I haven't put it on the internet. Why did I keep looking? Because it was like getting a glimpse into her unraveled mind, just in case it was a clue of what she was capable or thinking of doing next. because it wasn't her insulting posts that fazed me. What bothered me most were her sinister captions. Keep an eye on your kids because I'll be watching. Or, why don't you plant some flowers in your front yard? Or, be good to your kids because you never know what could happen. How was your Uber Eats order? She would post pictures of me with an arrow directed to my head, which I perceived to be a GUN to my head. She posted pictures of my husband's workplace, which she was not allowed to be within 2 blocks of in accordance to the RO. But the police said this could just be a picture she took from the internet. Sigh. She posted Agatha Christie quotes like, every killer is usually someone you know well, or your end is near. Oh my God. This is so awful. Her Twitter profile banner picture was taken from a movie poster and said, Stalker, like she was in on the joke. We called the police again, but they said there was nothing they could do since she didn't explicitly tag us. I took screenshots of everything. Many of her posts were nonsensical, but most were photos posted of us on this fake account. All altered with derogatory or ominous captions, but we couldn't get her shut down. I became anxious anytime my kids were outside shooting hoops in the driveway. My elderly mother wouldn't take the baby out in the stroller. She was too scared. It affected all our lives. Life became dramatic. That's horrible. This really is. Ex-beauty queen would taunt us with "catch me if you can." She posted close-ups of our dog's genitals or a piece of her dog's poop with my name beside it, the implication obvious. Well, that's just immature, and honestly, who cares? It's incredibly immature, and I feel like it definitely shows, well, it doesn't show her age, but it probably shows her maturity level. Then the calls started back up, this time to her home line. Yes, we still have a home phone. Bitch, and then hang up. Karma will get you, and then weird chant-like calls, as if she was reciting a spell. Sure enough, she posted photos of a pentagram and candles as some sort of altar and the caption, ring, ring. Finally, the police asked us to come in and give video statements. We gave them a drive containing thousands of screenshots of posts she had made. They arrested her again and charged her with 2 more counts of criminal harassment. My husband was angry at this point, but as a mama bear, I just want to get this over with. I don't blame you. It's the kids. She mentioned the kids frequently and ominously, many times in her online rants, also calling them rude names, which I won't repeat here because they are the things that upset me the most. The judge also issued a social media ban for her. It's about time. By the time she was rearrested for the second time, her fake Twitter account, which was literally mostly insults or references to my family, had 16,000 tweets in a 3-month period. She has no followers, so they were just to herself. Corn sites I had been continuously being tagged on stopped. Things quieted down tremendously. I still get follower requests that I believe are her. But at this point, we were all on edge. I kid you not, I felt weird walking into my kitchen at night to make a sandwich, feeling creeped out that she was outside watching. I put nothing past her, as nothing is more dangerous than a desperate woman who has nothing to lose. Facts. Which, by the way, was one of the quotes she posted. I don't know what is wrong with her. I believe, from what I've researched, she is a malignant narcissist. Perhaps some other mental issues at play here, but I can say she was a terrible person long before she decided to try and make our lives miserable. Crazy beauty queen turned stalker. I would love nothing more than to never meet again. But if going to court helps you stay away from us forever, then bring it. I also want to mention that we heard from a reliable source that after my husband broke up with her, she allegedly became known to police for other reasons. While my husband dodged a bullet regarding her threats to go to police saying he ABOC'd her, apparently other men have not been so lucky. Since I can't post pictures, I'll leave you with one of her posts. One that may not make much sense, but to us it is a statement to let us know she enjoys this drawn out court process. Many of her posts are in her native language, so this is translated. Violent women and the cruelest never answer questions. They like to continue the misunderstanding indefinitely. So I seek to contact people only in order to torment them. My cruelty is my last attachment to the world and my last chic. If you guys are still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you and I appreciate you so, so, so very much, more than you'll ever know. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, stay safe out there.